Marry me all. Just going to do a quick post on how I tackled getting around doing the door of my newer chook hut for their run. So, I made a little sign, clean it up, painted, and put a hanging hook. I'm also going to put a hanging hook on the inside to put a herbal wreath, a seasonal herbal wreath. Got distracted by a blackbird. So anyway, the thing with the door, when it comes to the walls, you need to make sure, because I'm using an automatic door, and I don't have batteries in it yet. Hang on. The morning's not for the uncoordinated. Well, I'm coordinated, just half asleep. So the thing with the automatic door, you see how the door needs to be wound up with the cogs on the inside of the device? Well, if you've got wall abutting in the way, it's going to stop the door opening. So the last thing you want to do is build everything, paint everything, put it where you want it, and then realise the door won't completely open or close. That would be the worst. So I basically had a gap on either side, and I had screwed the door in originally just to measure it out and have it flushed. And then I actually cut a couple of narrow strips on either side, drilled them onto the house, and then I drilled the doors onto that. Now I was left with a gap here. This is a support beam at the front which goes all the way. So on the inside you can see the support beam actually attaches the two front posts. There was a gap a little bit above and also a gap here. So what I did is created an L, so two strips of wood together to create an L with a bracket on the underside. So I screwed the bracket up through here and then through there. And then it doesn't look the best because I didn't have bolts. Ideally I would have used bolts, but I just used a plank of wood, self-tapping screws, so she'll be right. And it's high, it's not going to impact my Wookiees in any way. So that's attached in there, and I cut another strip of wood just to close this gap here. So even though they're in the run, there's Buckley's chance of anything really getting in there, I still would like to, they already have ventilation on the sides. And I was going to put hardware cloth, but because it's on the inside of the run, I don't know, I actually just want to do shutters or even curtains. Because I like my girl will want to stick her head out to say hello, sort of thing. You know what I mean? Well, Bridget, most likely, will be the one who wants to stick her head out to say hello without having me get out of her comfy bed, sort of thing. So back to the door and go. So I did these strips on either side. I attached an L-shaped wooden piece that I made onto the inside, drilled that in to create a bit of a cover there so there's no gap. And then I flushed another couple of cladding pieces cut to size on either side just to have that in there nice and secure. So as you can see, there's a big gap there, and that's for the door that I made. This is a really big door. Now I don't have the fixtures I want for it yet. My idea is to have a handle on this side and then create two hinges on that side, and then that way I can actually, once a week when I do a clean out, I can literally open the whole front of the house to get in there to do a good clean, because there's only so much you can clean through a door. And I could also clean by lifting the roof off, which is the last thing I'm going to do, is the roof. Again, because it's inside, I can just put a flat piece of wood to start off with. I am doing an apex roof. Again, you've got to be mindful, whatever you do with the roof, it can't impinge the door opening. I might do an apex with another smaller apex at the front here, so a bit like Victorian themed, if you like. And anyway, so that's how I have tackled doing the door, and the big door falls off. On the interim, until I can get some fixtures, I've got to have a look around. I might need to buy some. I'm just going to drill a screw on either side into the support beam and the side post just to hold it in there, because is not going to be more than a couple of weeks until I find what I want to put on there. So, potato, I can just use a little bit, even though it will be painted, I can just use a little bit of a filler, and then from the whole of the bow, and then paint over it that little spot. This is actually the base. I sanded it down again this morning, and it will sit on top of that iron table, and the house will sit on top of that, and then I've got to create a ladder. So today I would like to paint it, but I need to get my skates on because I need to have a shower myself, and then get my birds sorted out for the morning, and then take Flint to the veg. So cross your flitters for us. Lizzie and Merry Christmas.